What is going on, YouTube family? It's Andrea here at VW Family Farm. And do y'all know what this means? I'm about to go attempt to trim some fruit trees. So I'm gonna get me some loppers, I call them, some bigger ones than this. These will be for little branches. I gotta get some big ones for some bigger branches. We've kind of let our fruit trees go just a tad. Some are way worse than others, but I'm gonna go attempt to trim up the small ones, get those in good shape. It's a couple weeks late here. We usually try to do that around Valentine's Day here in Arkansas, but better late than never. I've been watching YouTube videos all day. YouTube's awesome for learning stuff. Gonna go try to just do my best. You may be wondering why I'm carrying this bee veil. Well, part of our fruit trees are over by the bees, and it's actually kind of chilly here today, pretty windy. So I don't know that the bees are gonna be out in full force, but I'm going prepared just in case. So there is the bee yard. I do see a few coming and going, but it's not major. I'm gonna go start down there on the other end and work my way back and just hope for the best. All right, I am by no means an expert at fruit tree trimming, so I cannot give you a tutorial because we are still newbies at it. We've tried multiple years, and some years we do better than others, but I do know I'm gonna try, see if I can show y'all. I'm gonna try to open up the middle of this tree because I do know it needs light in the middle. The tree needs light, it needs light to get the fruit ripened and all that. And then you're also looking for like your main branches. You can see some of these are main branches coming off the base of this tree. And then we're gonna come off and things are gonna come off of that. Now I don't know all the technical terms. I knew them 5 minutes ago when I watched the videos. But I'm mainly gonna try to trim things that are on top of those main branches, shading down onto where the fruit's gonna be set, and then I'm gonna try to trim underneath those of what is being shaded. That's my goal here. I'm not gonna go crazy because anytime you're trimming something, you don't wanna trim more than really a third of it. So I'm not gonna go in here and just whack this tree all to pieces because I'm afraid I would shock it and I would be doing more harm than good. So I'm gonna get to tree trimming and then we're gonna move on because we also gotta plant potatoes. We've had those curing for several days, and we're gonna plant onions. We're gonna plant all kinds of early crops. So I gotta get busy. Okay, so I've trimmed on this one. I've got the middle opened up, and one common thing I've seen that on some of the videos I've watched, if branches are crossing each other from some of those lateral branches coming off the main stem, if then they shoot out branches that kind of crisscross each other, you want to trim those because you want really good airflow, you want light, and they're just gonna set fruit and then be almost on top of each other. So you want to definitely trim those. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So like if these were closer together, I've already trimmed here, but if these were closer together and crisscrossing like that, you definitely want to do a little trimming to one of those there. Also, I just want to say, I'm not doing a how-to video on this because I'm not qualified. I don't know enough about it yet. And so be careful who you watch. Make sure you trust that person. Make sure they've done their research, because one thing I found, some types of fruit trees like plums, you might want to come in and actually like trim a third of the branch that is going to actually set your fruit. But if you go do that, say to your apple tree, you're not going to get any apples because the apples are going to form on the furthest end of that limb. So just be careful who you're listening to about trimming your fruit trees. All right, I'm done, and I did not get stung one time. They didn't even bother me. They were out, but they're not feeling aggressive today, I guess you'd say. All right, so it's actually the next day. We're outside gonna get a lot of things done. I actually trimmed more than just those little trees. Ben and I worked together and trimmed all these trees. Hope y'all can see these massive piles. We actually cut one tree down because after we planted it, it was leaning over. It started growing that way. It never produced fruit. I think it just was really stressed out, and it was several years old, and so it should have well been producing. It was plums. plums by then, and it just never did. So it was leaning towards my red barn and just getting bigger and bigger. So we took that one out and trimmed up what's left. So we opened that one way up in the middle. You can see the big branches we cut off in the middle. And Ben wound up coming back and helping me take the middle out of all our little trees too. We did that all down through here. We took out the very middle of the tree. And then that tree right there, we did nothing to it. So we're giving a test to see what does the best, the trimmed up ones or the one we left alone.
Hard-working woman. We are fixing to pull up all these billboard tarps and get ready for gardening season 2020.
We found some helpers. We just got to get her to work. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So Ben and I are going to work on getting these tarps off. Lane and Emily are going to pick up all these bricks and blocks in the mule, get this cleaned up. All right, we got half of it uncovered. Only found one snake skin. We've got several of these laid out and tied up together with a rope tied on the back of the mule. We were gonna have Emily fold them all up. Doesn't that sound fun?
Oh yeah.
But instead, we're trying to make this the year where we work smarter and not harder. So Ben came up with a plan. It was really good. We're gonna take these around to another garden and just go ahead and cover it up. It's growed up in grass right now. Just let it start choking out the grass. Instead of folding these up and dragging them back out, we're just gonna go put them in their new home because we're gonna grow sweet potatoes on these tarps again this year. This whole back garden I'm standing in right now is gonna be covered in ground cover from Growers Solution. We're really looking forward to that. You've probably seen it on Kevin and Sarah's channel before. So we are going with the ground cover method. If y'all want to order anything from them, they will give you 10% off just by using VWFF 10. So be sure and use that, save yourself some money. We're really looking forward to the ground cover. This covering the ground, even though this was just billboard tarps, that's probably not the best choice, but it worked for us and it's what we had last year. It just made gardening so much more fun and enjoyable because I wasn't out here working and pulling weeds all summer. And we have tried the Back to Eden method and the lasagna method and all that. I'd like to give them another try, but we have so much Bermuda grass around here. And even if you can keep it out of growing through the mulch, it wants to crawl up the side. So I haven't quite figured all that out yet, but this covering the ground method is working for us right now.
Right.
All right, so this is our new location. Ben, you want to tell them where we are?
We're on the west side of the magnificent sheep pen,
Which Katie have found a random cow leg she's chewing on. That's concerning.
Actually, it was right out here and I threw it to her. I have no idea.
Something drug it up here, I guess.
Unless she got out and drug it up here. There's the bees.
And they're out.
All right,
There's
so
the
what,
fruit trees I trimmed. So we're gonna put sweet potatoes over here, right?
Yep. So what my idea is to extra billboards. Man, they did fantastic last year. We get a lot of drainage down through here from runoff of the buildings, so I should have plenty of water. We planted buckwheat here last year. Should built the soil back up. So what we're gonna do, I was laying them down and just gonna kill everything out, but I think I wanna till it. There's a lot of stems from sunflowers and different things that we planted over here last fall, last summer, whatever it was. So we're gonna till that under and start over, have one big long row of sweet potatoes.
So this is how we're getting them over there. We're kind of putting them on each other.
Lazy man's way.
I say smart man's way.
Yeah, that too. I'll take that compliment.
So we're just piling them up, tying a rope around them, tying them onto the mule, and dragging them.
Long train coming.
All right, so there's Ben and the kids working on getting the tarps down over here to put sweet potatoes in a month or two. We're actually gonna plant our potatoes in this dirt area I'm gonna use my Has plow and plow a furrow and plant white potatoes over here too. All right, we wound up making our hills with the tractor because we used the tiller bin made, and we'll link that video if you're interested in making one. It works beautifully making hills, especially for potatoes. And he actually put a plow foot on the back of it, as we show in that video. It makes a little furrow down the middle. We're gonna plant these potatoes from Has Tools in there. If you're looking for seed potatoes, check out Has Tools because they have awesome varieties. And it's a perfect time to get them shipped to you. So I'm starting at the road and I'm gonna work back that way, and I'm starting with Yukon Gold.
Okay, so now I'm starting on the other row with some purple potatoes.
All right, now I'm planting the Kennebec variety. And so this little piece right here, I'm just placing it in the ground like this, where the sprouts can start growing and the roots can start growing down. All right, Em, what kind are you planting now?
I am planting German butterballs.
German butterball. All right, so Lane and I have switched jobs. Our last variety, where's our last variety?
Right there.
This is our last variety, the red Nordland. We're gonna fill this in at the end of the rows. I'm gonna get to covering, and then we're moving on to early stuff and onions. All right, we're gonna plant onions now. Ben actually used the Has plow to make this row. It made a real pretty furrow. He plowed it and then he made the furrow. It looks really good. I don't know if y'all can see all these gnats. It's crazy. But now I'm gonna plant these onions. These are the ones from Dixondale that they actually gave some to a couple of y'all. These are the best looking onions we've ever tried to plant. So we'll see how these turn out. We'll let you know as the year goes, but I'm gonna plant the Candy. Second, I'm gonna plant Texas Super Sweet, and then I'm gonna wrap it up at the end of the row with the Red Creole. And the great thing about Dixondale, they'll work with you to get what's gonna grow best in your area, because you really can't just pick one and it do to its superior performance if it's not made for your area. All right, that job is complete. Spring is here because Emily has lost her shoes. All right, so this is where our tomatoes were last year. This is old billboard. The holes are still here. We cleaned it all up. Lane is down there with a dibble tool that Ben made. I'm sure y'all have seen those that you can purchase. He just made one out of wood. He is dibbling the holes to basically, let me go down there and show you. All right, Lane, show him that dibble tool.
So it's just a dowel that he kind of tapered down and used a wood lathe and made some just little grooves. So now,
you can do it to different depths.
Right. So now I'm trying to get all this stuff out of the old hole, and then I'm just taking it and pushing it into the third rung, so he knows exactly how to plant it.
So that just makes us a little hole, because we're planting little sprouts of early stuff like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. So we're just gonna put it on here and then cover it with a row cover. All right, we've got this whole row planted with like 90 cabbages mainly and some Brussels sprouts all the way down there. So Lane and Emily have sat here. These are our Has trays, our heavy duty trays. They're 162 cell trays. They've worked great for us. Lane and Emily have taken a stick and popped all these loose, just basically to break the seal. There's a little hole up under here. You just poke a stick in and they'll just pop right up. It works great. They're moist, but they're not super wet, because then they want to just fall apart. So if you do it a little bit drier, it's easier. All right, so Ben has got this area nice and tilled. You can see how well this garlic is doing down through here. He's got this nice and worked over. We're leaving all these panels. We're actually gonna fill this area back in with panels as well. We took them down for sheep pens when they were lambing, but he is burning what little grass there is under there. And we're about to lay row cover from Grower Solution here and over there on the other side of those T-posts. They will kind of butt up to the middle, and we'll plant tomatoes down the middle. We will burn holes in the row cover that's gonna lay on top of this dirt, and we're gonna plant the rest of our early stuff, broccoli and cauliflower and all that kind of stuff. All right, so it is getting dark out here. We're about to pull those closer to the panels and burn some holes in them and get the early stuff planted. So we are going to let y'all go. Y'all will be seeing this in future videos. We're gonna get this wrapped up because the sun is sinking. It's about to get dark. We are tired. Are you tired?
Oh yes.
We are wore out. We have worked hard today. We got a lot of the early stuff planted. We've got a break for a while from gardening. It's just sit back, get seeds sprouted, get them going to plant the later stuff in a couple months. So
we still got a lot of work to do with a short time to get it done before it gets dark on us today. We'll see y'all later. God bless.